Hello, it's Debbie from Living Loving Beach to Bay, and here's a unique spin. Can an HOA make you nuts? Homeowners Association, or help or annoy, another way to look at that acronym. So here we are, we're talking about life in coastal Delaware, and tonight's topic is HOA. Does it help or does it annoy? What in the heck is an HOA? And yes, I'm wearing my sunglasses because maybe I'm going to be a little incognito so the people in my own community don't think I'm talking about our HOAs. Welcome to Living Loving Beach to Bay. You know what I'm going to ask? If you're loving these topics and these videos and my information and my vibe, hit the subscribe button. HOAs, does it hurt? Does it help? Does it annoy? Or is it truly a good thing? So let's start at the beginning. What is an HOA? So the acronym truly does stand for Homeowners Association. And it really is designed to really protect and enhance the community that you live in. So there's often dues or fees that are paid monthly, quarterly, sometimes annually. And what do those fees go for? Well, we'll talk about that. But they also set guidelines for your property, for the community's property, and really they establish kind of some parameters on what you can and cannot do. So if you think about it, they maintain the common areas, they set community guidelines, they collect fees, and occasionally they make you nuts, okay? And I have personal experience with that. In my own homeowners association, unbeknownst to me, they recently passed a new bylaw that really indicates what the size is of the signs that if you are fortunate enough to be the realtor of choice in your community, which I'm working on in my own personal community, and I've recently listed a few homes here, I actually, unbeknownst to me, after I engaged a sign company to dig a hole, put up a delightful sign, very pretty sign, and really hang my specific sign advertising that the home was for sale, my name, my number, and actually a cute little picture of me. And lo and behold, I found out that the sign was too big, the signpost was not allowed, and I had to actually quickly call an audible, have the sign removed. That was an expense. Then I had to have new signs designed that actually met the exact guidelines of my own homeowners association. So here I would tell you, help or annoy. In this case, I was really annoyed. Okay, the good news, got the property under contract, actually both properties under contract, one in 21 days, one in 11 days. So guess what? Despite the sign drama, as I called it, all was good. All's well that ends well. Since I just talked about a little kind of negative, a little rabbit hole that I went down with my own personal HOA, let's talk about really the benefits of an HOA. And there are certainly definitely are benefits. Let's talk about what's really, really good with an HOA, because there are benefits. And even though I just, went down that kind of little sidebar into one of the challenging experiences I've personally had with my HOA, there really are some definite benefits. HOAs take care of, in many cases, all of the community green space, and we have a lot of community green space in my community and a lot of community green space in many communities in coastal Delaware. We also have a lot of amenities in my community. So we have a fabulous pool, and we have pickleball courts, and we have, a fitness center and a clubhouse. All of that is maintained by the HOA. Yes, our fees contribute to the budget and obviously take care of that, but the HOA really collectively handles those contracts, organizing the maintenance of those facilities, certainly making sure the pool opens and closes on time. They make sure the pool gets cleaned on a regular basis, and if something is in need of attention. Last year, there was a situation with the pool filter, and the HOA was on it. So in that regard, I think it's fabulous. And my personal HOA also maintains my yard. So while I certainly enjoy a huge level of fitness, I do not want to be out there pushing the lawnmower. I don't want to be mowing, trimming the hedges. And I absolutely do not want to be dropping new mulch. So all of that is taken care of. In addition, depending on your HOA and your bylaws and what your HOA umbrella really covers, some of the exterior maintenance of many homes is also covered by the HOA. Again, personal experience, my HOA on a semi-annual basis power washes the outside of my home, If the exterior trim needs to be touched up with painting, they take care of that. There are some really great benefits. And the other thing that the HOA does do, which it annoys some and some it doesn't annoy, is it maintains a level of consistency. So for example, there are certain flags we can fly, certain flags we cannot fly. We can't just start ripping out all of the landscaping and make a decision to plant our own, choice flowers or choice shrubbery or choice flowering bushes, etc. That's maintained by the HOA. The other thing that the HOA in my community, and I believe this is true of most, is if you want to do any expansion, or you want to expand your outdoor living space, or you want to add a screened-in porch, or you want to add a portico, or you want to add a pergola, those are the kinds of things that would need to be submitted to the HOA, approved, provided it meets those certain guidelines, and get a rubber stamp of approval, and off you go. Now, I live in an attached home. It's actually called a villa. It's not a villa, everyone. It's a duplex, but they love to call the style of my home a villa. No, I'm not on the French Riviera or in Miami in South Florida. I live in beautiful Coastal Delaware, but my home is considered a villa. But because my home is attached, there's also limits to what I can and cannot do from a standpoint of expansion. I cannot fence my backyard because it's not truly my backyard. My backyard really belongs to the community, although no one in the community comes over and uses it. It's really primarily for my personal use. However, if you live in a home that is a single family detached home, many HOAs do permit certain types of fencing. The same thing. You submit a application, a proposal, and as long as it works within the guidelines of that homeowners association, help or annoy, you can get that approved and make that happen as well. Those are really the benefits of the HOA. Okay, so I talked about all the wonderful benefits. Let's talk about the dings, okay? The annoyances, the help or annoy. Okay, now we've moved on to the annoy. Okay, you got to stay up with the correspondence. They love emails. They love to let you know when your grass is going to be mowed. This week, for example, our recycling did not get picked up on Monday. It got picked up on Tuesday. So we all had our recycling out at the curb for Monday. And about midday through the day, we got an email blast that said, oops, recycling is going to happen on Tuesday. Okay, so there's those kinds of things. Then you've got to hear about, heaven forbid, there was some kind of an emergency with the pool and the pool needs to be emptied or cleaned. So there's another emails. And then there's letters. And then there's, which does occasionally happen, the management of the HOA changes. So, whether it's the board decides or maybe the management company, just goes belly up and is no longer available to do that. And then when the management company changes, well, then all of the online payment portals and all of that has to update as well. So you got to really stay on it. I am extremely disciplined about my business email. I am not as disciplined with my personal email as many of my communication from friends and family that goes to my personal email. It might as well go to the dead letter file because I just don't see it. So I've got to remind myself, and occasionally my neighbors, my wall mates, because we share a wall in the middle, they will remind me from time to time, Debbie, did you see that, message from the HOA? Did you see Premier or whomever, CAS, reached out to us about a change? And thank goodness I've got a neighbor who's looking out for me and has my kind of backside covered because I would potentially miss that communication. So HOAs also like to have some kinds of curfew rules. So certain HOAs actually insist that, for example, holiday decor comes down by a certain time. Or what I was just referring to with the recycling that did not get picked up on Monday but was being bumped to Tuesday. Our community loves to send out little notices if your trash and recycling receptacles have not been returned to their rightful place, and that rightful place is out of the public's eye. So I house my recycling and waste receptacles around the backside of my home. There's a little alcove where they go. Many people put them in their garage, but then there are people, and many people that are not here full-time yet. I'm hoping they're working on getting here full-time. So they've got to have kind of a cadence for, is their neighbor taking care of it, or have they made arrangements to have maybe a porter service bring them back? So HOAs love to send out those kinds of dunning messages as well. Your recycling and trash receptacles are still on the curb, your holiday lights are still up, or a host of other things that they might find unacceptable. I really also think it's important to note that I was not familiar with HOAs growing up. Actually, the first several homes I owned, it wasn't until I bought my home in right outside of Philadelphia in the Brandywine Valley that I was first exposed to an HOA. And my favorite story is my spouse decided he was going to paint the shutters, and he selected a color that I absolutely did not like. But you know how that goes. The shutters got painted. The color was ghastly. The HOA sent us a nasty letter saying we had not asked or had not applied to have the shutters changed in color, and the color that we had selected was not acceptable. Well, at that point, I wanted to run over and hug the HOA president because I didn't like the color either. So I got my wish. You know what I'm going to say. I had a beautiful kind of cream-colored home, and I wanted black shutters. And the color that had been selected for me or for our home was, as I said, ghastly. I think it was pea green. Anyway, fast forward, I got black shutters. I loved the HOA. That was my first exposure. But here in Coastal Delaware, I would say that 95% of the communities have an HOA. So get ready to embrace them, to love them, to respect them, and to work within the guidelines as annoying, help or annoy as they can, because they truly are a homeowners association. They are often have board members that are selected through a ballot process. They are typically the kinds of individuals who volunteer to do this out of the goodness of their heart. Is a non-compensated position, and it doesn't come with really terrific rewards, especially when you've got neighbors and or members of the community that might not think it's a benefit. So I really think it's important to know what you're getting into. The other thing I can tell you is that all of the communities here in Delaware that do have homeowners associations, so there's an entire resale package that when you are thinking about buying a home, when you make an offer, you are given a period of time to review that resale package. And in that resale package are all of the HOA documents. They include the budget, the minutes, what have the funds been going to, what do the fees truly pay for, what are the parameters. You can also get a copy of the homeowner guidelines, so you're going to know, can I put that flag up? How long can I keep my holiday decorations up? When are trash receptacles and recycling receptacles expected to be pulled back? When does my lawn get mowed? And all of those kinds of things. So Homeowners Association, it really is a benefit. And I'm going to say as a realtor, it is a benefit. And it really does create really some unbelievably breathtaking, well-maintained, lush, inviting, delightful communities to live in here in Coastal Delaware. But gosh darn it, they do annoy from time to time. So I'll close with my little, my own experience with the real estate sign recently was uncomfortable at best. And they were going to fine the homeowner for my sign being up when it should not have been because it was too large. It should not have been on the signpost, etc. So we quickly modified that situation. So, you enjoying this information? Homeowners Association, help or annoy? Is it a benefit? Is it not? You know what I'm going to ask. Subscribe, text, email, reach out to me. We can discuss the Homeowners Association in the community you're thinking about making either your vacation home, second home, investment home, or better yet, make this your permanent home. You're absolutely going to love it. Living, loving Beach to Bay. I'll be back with more.